Hey everyone, welcome to the CaptainDrone YouTube channel on this really cold, did I mention it's cold morning. For your viewing pleasure today and possibly total destruction, this is the FMS Futura 64mm. Now the reason I say for your viewing pleasure and possibly destruction is because if you look at my runway, it is covered in snow and frozen ice footprints, so it's not smooth at all. But I'm going to try this today. FMS launched this in the year 2023 and they launched it in 3 colors. You have the lime green like I have, the yellow or the red, but it's different than most 64mm on the market today because they put in high quality spring-loaded landing gear, which is something you don't normally see in a 64mm because they're not very expensive for these types of jets. So that means in the summertime, not in the winter, but in the summertime when you land, you won't bounce all over the place. It'll be a smooth landing. You'll grease your landings, and the landing gear can be removed really quickly and you can hand launch the plane. Now I haven't tried it. Normally when I hand launch a 64mm EDF jet, I have to do it into the winds, and today there's no wind, so I have nothing to launch it into. It does run on a 4S LiPo battery. It does have an 11 bladed fan in the back on the motor, and the motor is very advanced with a high kV output for the 4S system with the 40 amp ESC. And the amazing thing is not only do you get that awesome landing gear and the upgraded high-end motor, but you also get flaps. There are flaps on this. Most EDF jets can't be bothered with flaps because you just go really fast, but flaps are really good if you want to come in slow to land, or if you just want to do slow flying. It's good in the wind. There's no wind today, so I don't know if I can use the flaps today. Anyways, this should be a lot of fun because I think this plane is going to bounce all over the place and might even bounce upside down going down this runway. So let's check this out. This is a Maiden, by the way. I haven't flown this, so this is a Maiden. Should be fun. All right, let's plug in our battery. You can see how the battery sits right there. All right, can you see me way over here? We are ready to fly. So I got my jet down there, and let's check the surface areas. So before we go, we have ailerons. These little things on the tips of the wings are ailerons. Up, down. Oh my God, they're slow. They're frozen. And those really cool flaps are here. Flaps position. That's pretty cool to have flaps. And of course you have elevators in the back. There you go. And of course you have rudder back here. There, and motor. Motor arm. Now the motor's going to probably suck in a lot of snow as it goes down and shoot it out the back. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the ESC. So what I'm hoping is that with the flaps on, as it goes down the runway, it's going to bounce a lot because of all the ice and snow and everything. I'm hoping one of those bounces will throw it up in the air. If there was some wind happening, blowing over the wings, it could get up really fast, but there's no wind. So I got to get speed. I do have a little Insta360 Go up top. I put it at the CG point so it doesn't affect any of the takeoff. Let me just turn it on. Wish me luck. This could be awesome or a disaster. Here we go. Maiden. Flaps position 1. And give it some power. Here's the bouncing. Get up, get up, get up. Whoa, one of those bounces took it up nicely. Here we go. Flaps off. And we're coming around. So let me give you my first impressions. Well, it flies really nice. I'm not going to complain about that. Now I am kind of close to the school here, so if I come down low, I might thunder into it, but I had to stand at the end of the runway to get this thing to actually take off because there's only a small smooth area. So here it is. I'm going to bring it tighter turn to get out of the sun. Coming by. There we go. Now I'm going to bring it around and bring it low. I love these Maidens because I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea how the plane's going to fly or anything, and I just do this out of the seat of my pants. Here we go. There we go. Oh, that is so cool. Here, let me bring it at me this time. I'll try not to have the sun blind me too much, and I'll try to slow it down. 3 minutes. As if I was coming down for a landing. Now I have the timer set at 4 minutes, so here we go. Go this way on this side of the sun, but here we go. You can see it going nice. And around the parking lot. Try not to crash into all those cars out there. I think if I took the wheels off, I'd get a lot more speed, but it seems to have plenty of power. I have no issues with power, that's for sure. Seems to work quite well. Let's come down low again. And then full power going up. And go around this way. And do a loop. I'm just doing a loop above my head, going around. And around the other way. Figure 8. There we are, in the sun. The green really pops against the sky. Yellow and green, awesome for flying in the sky. So if you get one of these, it's good to get the yellow or the green model. The red probably looks cool on some days, but I think on an overcast day, probably doesn't pop as much. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. 2 minutes. All right, it says I have 2 minutes of flight left. I'm gonna bring it down for a landing now. I just want to test this out. This could be a little scary. I have no idea how it's gonna land, and this runway is a disaster. And I have trees at the end that I've hit with other planes, so I have to be careful of that. All right, coming around. No flaps on, nothing. Don't need the flaps today because it's a glider. Oh, make sure there's no, I don't see any planes. Don't see any trees coming down. Look at this thing. Ho, ho, ho! That is awesome. Bouncing over everything, but look at it go. Okay, so they were correct what they said about that landing gear. It's awesome. There we go. Look at this thing go. Whoa. Okay, coming right at me and down. Decreasing power. Oh, just try to keep it straight. Look at that. And then way up. There she goes, baby. Coming down low again and slow. I've got it slow. Look at this, just gliding along. I was like 10% throttle going slow there. Oh, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one, guys. It's coming long. No, it's coming too long. I have to abort, 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 abort. All right, let's go again. Go again. All right. Brought the plane too long. It would have landed into the snowbank behind me. A little lower, little lower. There we go. If I don't hear it crash coming at me, that means it missed the trees. There we go. Now I got to bring it closer to me because I don't want to go walk and get it. Look at this. And now I'm going to bring it down. Going, 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 going. There we go. I wish it had reverse thrust. Maybe it does. I didn't set it up. So if it has it, I don't know. But that was awesome. That's 2 flights on this, so this plane is no longer a virgin. Now, before I go on, I have to answer 2 common questions. A lot of people watch my videos of me flying an RC plane, and since I'm CaptainDrone, a lot of you are drone pilots. You know, you probably own a DJI drone. I would say most people would own a DJI drone or some sort of camera drone. Those are all designed for beginners. When I say beginner, that means when you buy the kit, it comes in a box, and everything is there. You need nothing else except for your cell phone or tablet. And because of that, they get the term beginner ready to fly kit. In the plane hobby, RC planes, you can also buy the same thing. You have to look for an RC plane that's called whatever the name of the plane is, beginner RTF, ready to fly plane kit. This is not one of those because this is designed for people already in the hobby. When you're in the plane hobby or any RC hobby, you will have bought a radio. And when you have your own radio, you can connect it to a receiver that you have to put in the plane. Some planes come with a receiver, other ones don't, but you just buy the receivers and you stick them in the plane. You can take them out of one, stick them in another, and that's it. Same as the batteries. You have to buy your own batteries and your own battery charger because it's not ready to fly. As soon as you pass the beginner level, then you own your own gear and you keep using the same gear every time you fly. Does that make sense? So that means this plane is perfect for anybody who owns their own radio in the RC hobby, your own battery chargers, and you've flown 1 or 2 planes before you fly this one, because jets are a little different than propeller planes. Second question I'm always asked is, how come I can fly planes so well? You know, I was a drone pilot and I only started flying a short while ago. That's because I flew FPV drones. If you fly FPV drones, you have more than the skills necessary to fly a plane because you're used to using both joysticks. A lot of people in the RC plane hobby who have been in it for 20 or 30 years still only fly mainly with one joystick. If you fly DJI drones or drones like that, those beginner type ready to fly drones, you still have some of the skills necessary to fly an RC plane. You have more skills than the average person off the street who's never touched joysticks before, so you'll be doing quite well. Now, with all that said, let me show you what comes in the box if you buy this baby, so check this out. This is the box the Futura 64mm from FMS comes in. Now, there's no worry of receiving a damaged plane because check this out, everything's super well packaged. Items in the box include the instruction manual, followed by the main wings, and you will note that the electronics have already been installed, as well as the servos, the connector links, everything is there, even the graphics. The same is true for the horizontal and vertical stabilizers. Everything has already been installed at the factory. The main fuselage, once again, has the graphics already applied. The motor and servo connectors are already all installed inside. Other items in the box include the wing spar, the landing gear, which is removable if you desire, and finally one small bag of hardware to assemble the entire plane. And now I'll show you how easy it is to assemble this plane. First, take that wing spar and push it straight through the fuselage. Then slide the main wings over that wing spar. Then connect the 2 wires coming out of the fuselage to the 2 wires coming out of the wing. Then push the wing into position. And finally, secure the wings into position using the included 4 screws. To attach the horizontal stabilizer, you first have to take the 2 wires coming out of the horizontal stabilizer and connect them to the 2 wires coming out of the main fuselage at the rear. Then slide the horizontal stabilizer into position and secure it in place with the included 2 screws. To install the vertical stabilizer, you have to connect the 1 wire coming out of the vertical stabilizer to the 1 wire coming out of the fuselage. Then push the vertical stabilizer into position and secure it in place with the included 3 screws. When this is completed, you'll notice that the vertical and horizontal stabilizers, as well as the main wings, all sit flush to the fuselage. And finally, if you wish to install the landing gear, you simply push it into position. Only the nose landing gear needs to be screwed tight into position. Okay, back to me. Well, I don't have much else to say other than I'm going to put the links below to where you can buy this FMS product. You can get it in Canada, you can get it in the United States. You should be able to get it in most places around the world. I'll put some links below. It is very popular, very, very popular, so it sells out often. If you can find it where it says in stock when you're watching this video, because you could be watching this video at any point in any year, then buy it. Because if you go and click on my links below and it says not in stock, well, you'll have to wait till it's back in stock. It usually comes back in stock every couple of months because it sells out fast. All right, guys, if you have questions on this plane, post them below and I will get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you in a future video with many more reviews. Until then, I say bye.